We have been invited to tell jokes at the Chatham Methodist Church, North Chatham Methodist Church. There is a Chatham Methodist Church too. In fact, I'm a member of that one. So I'll read you these jokes and see how you like them. A Methodist minister, he and his wife came home from a church service at Christmas time. She flopped down on the couch and she says, "I'm exhausted." He said, "What do you mean you're exhausted? I'm the one who had to write 5 sermons and deliver 5 sermons." And she says, "But I'm the one who had to listen to 5 sermons." The minister gave his congregation a challenge. He said, "This week I want you to read the book of Mark, the Gospel of Mark, chapter 17. And when you come to church next Sunday, I'll ask you if you read it." Next Sunday, he said, "How many of you read chapter 17, Mark?" And all the hands went up. He says, "That's very interesting. There's only 16 chapters in Mark." The teacher said to the boy, "Johnny, I think you cheated on the test. I think you copied the answers from the girl across the aisle from you. The first question was, who was the first president of the United States? She wrote Washington and you wrote Washington. The second question was, who was the president during the Civil War? She wrote Lincoln and you wrote Lincoln. The third question was, who was president during the Louisiana Purchase? She wrote, I don't know, and you wrote, me neither." A man was very close to dying, folks. Everybody knew he had only a few hours left. But he was at home, and his wife baked a batch of cookies. He reached over and he took one, and she said, "Don't eat those. I need them for the funeral." And the little girl was noisy in church. Her mother whispered something into her ear. The girl calmed right down. It was quiet through the end of the service. The mother was asked, "What did you whisper into your daughter's ear?" The mother said, "I told her, if you make a noise, the minister is going to lose his place and have to start the sermon all over again." And the Pentecostal minister got very excited, and he says, "I'm going to gather up all the beer in this town and I'm going to pour it into the river." And the next hymn on the order of service was, "We will all meet at the river." The sign in the restaurant window was blended coffee. The customer said to the waitress, "What is it a blend of?" And the waitress said, "Yesterday's and today's." And the bank robber said to the bank teller, "1 peep out of you and your geography." She said, "Don't you mean history?" He said, "Don't change the subject." "Daddy, what causes rain?" "Daddy, low pressure areas, cold fronts, and the first day of your vacation." A little boy and his older sister were in the living room watching a video on the Nativity, the birth of Christ. And the little boy said, "What is a virgin?" And the little girl said, "A virgin is a woman who eats all of her vegetables." A man was a fan of the composer, Ludwig von Beethoven. And he went to Beethoven's grave to honor the composer. And he's standing there, and all of these Beethoven symphonies are coming out of the ground. But they're being played backwards, and they're being played in the reverse order in which they were written. Beethoven's Ninth, Beethoven's Eighth, Beethoven's Seventh, Beethoven's Sixth, down to Beethoven's First Symphony. And he says to the gravedigger, I don't get it. I want to hear these Beethoven symphonies. They're being played backwards, and they're being played in the reverse order they were written. The gravedigger says, don't you get it? He's decomposing. An earthquake was reported to be on its way in California, and this couple sent their young son deep into the interior where the boy would be safe with an uncle. 2 days later, they received an email said, returning the boy, send the earthquake. A picketer was carrying a sign that said, time heals all wounds. And the picketer behind him was carrying a sign that said, time and a half heals them faster. A woman at the bridge table said, when I down in the dumps, I get calls. And a woman at the next bridge table said, I was wondering where she got them. A dog was asked, what? A dog was asked, are you bilingual? And the dog said, woof, meow. Why did the bunny rabbit ask to be changed into a goon within the next 24 hours? Why did the bunny rabbit ask to be changed into a goon within the next 24 hours? So, he could be hare today and goon tomorrow. This camping party, folks, was hopelessly lost in the northern woods of Maine. And they wandered around for hours. Finally, one of the people got up the courage to say, you told us you were the best guide in the state of Maine. And he said, yeah, I am. But right now, I think we're in Canada. A little boy was late for school, and he took a shortcut, and he scrambled under a fence, and the barbed wire caught his britches and made a tear. He gets to school, and the teacher says, I see you're a little behind this morning. He says, yes, it was the barbed wire. Teacher, draw a picture of the nativity. And the girl drew her picture and brought it up to the teacher's desk. And the teacher says, oh, this is terrific. Oh, look, there's Mary, there's Joseph, there's Jesus. What's this little stand in the corner with a box on it? That's their computer. And I asked somebody to come over to help me, and they said they couldn't. There was a death in the family. I said, well, who died? And he said, the computer. Well, now, let's figure this out. This says we have